Hello everyone. In this video, we'll go through how to install and use LM Studio, which is an application, and it is the simplest way today to actually be able to run LLMs on your machine, on your device, on your laptop, computer. It works for Mac, Windows, or Linux. As you can see on the website, you can search for LM Studio at Google or lmstudio.ai. That's the official website. You can download it. It's of course an installer of less than 500 megabytes. So it will be very, very small to install and easy. We simply go through the installer process. After we install this, we'll be able to download and customize the models that we would like to run. Evidently, it's important to know as we go through the installation process that depending on your hardware and GPU, if you have any, or how powerful your CPU will be, and the quantity of memory, both from RAM and VRAM that you have on your machine, you could run larger models and or the processing can be much faster. So the answers from the LLM, the quantity of tokens that you get back from your queries will be much larger. So as we run LM Studio, you'll see it's a very lean application, easy to follow. And we'll go through a few things on the application to show you after the installation. Hopefully you saw how easy it is. We'll just skip onboarding in this case. So instead of following on the top center of the LM Studio window, you can see that you can automatically download a model if you wanted to. And we can see on the left that we have four different icons of only four main areas that we'll work on. If we go to the search, which here they are calling it mission control, you can see that you can search for all the available models. Most of the models are looked for on Hugging Face. But there are, of course, a lot of details on each of the models, such as quantized models, which means that they will be much faster running. And it can automatically tell you that a model is likely too large for this machine. You can see the size of the model itself, although some of them, and then other metrics that if they are too technical for you, there's no reason to be too concerned about that. The UI is quite simple. All you need to know is you need a model. Feel free to use the recommended models by the application. You may have heard of Llama, Mistral, Grok. Those are standard models. And there are some quantized models versions for each of those, and you could run any of them. This application also allows for developers or power users to have this dev icon section where you would be able to run locally an API as if your machine, your laptop, your computer, your PC were a server on those models that you have downloaded that you can have running real time. You can enable an API. The API aims to mimic how any model API would work. That is, if you've known that OpenAI allows you to use their API for that purpose, you can literally build your own software, try to use your running model to prototype, to develop anything that you want with an LLM without actually paying OpenAI or having access to the OpenAI API. As you see, again, I have four models here already installed. You can see they are all relatively small. I'll click on the smallest one, which is about 1.2 gigabytes. You can see when you click on it, you have parameters and hyperparameters for the model that you could set, and you press load model. Then it would simply just load that model into memory, VRAM or RAM. You will see that on the bottom right part of the window, you can see the RAM and the CPU consumption. On the lower left, you can see that user, power user, and developer are just it will show you different details that you can have. You can see that the model has been loaded right now. You can see how much memory it's consuming. You can see that you can eject the model. That would be just removing it completely from memory. Um, and then we can just interact with the model through this chat window, right? You can see how fast it works. Obviously, it's a very small model. It's quantized and optimized. It's a GGUF version of Llama 3.2, 1 billion parameter. You can see how fast it's working. And now, of course, we could enable the API the same way that we mentioned before. You can just interact if you use Python, JavaScript, obviously for your interfacing with OpenAI. You can just point to the right URL, the right IP address that you have right over there on the top section of the screen, reachable at, and you have an IP address with a port. And that's where we can actually access the API that will use the model that we currently have available in memory, that we have uh, created, instantiated. Of course, we already saw that you can download more models. You can have your own inventory of models that you can just install and you can use one at a time, evidently switch from one to the other. If you press the top right model card link, you will take you to Hugging Face where you can see the details for each of the models. You can see the requirements that each model has, a lot of details if you are more technical, if you would like to do anything else on that note. Of course, it allows you also to update automatically a lot of the things, sections and runtimes that the application abstracts. Here I'm just showing after I got prompted by some updates being available. You can see in the download section everything that was downloaded. You can see what they are, the versions. Right now, I was even told, hey, there's a new version of LM Studio. Would you like to run it? Absolutely. As you press the button, the installation, update, upgrade is done completely automatically. And now I have run the new version once it's been updated. I'm just instantiating or choosing the model again, Llama 3.2 1 billion. And then after it's been loaded, you can see that it works as it was before. So very, very automatic, very streamlined, absolutely the easiest way to have a model running on your device today. A solid LLM abstraction.